So I had this relationship that I had so much expectations for, and it didn't work out. I had a breakdown. I'm not going to lie, I cried several times. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. I am Sylvia Uzo. If you're just seeing me for the first time, please do not make it your last by clicking on the subscribe button below to join this family. So from the topic we have here, today is going to be an all juiced day. I know this topic is very controversial and a lot of people have opinions, but the disclaimer here is that everything I'm going to say here is based on my own personal beliefs, my own personal experiences and findings. You don't have to take my word for it, okay? If you do have any form of contributions to make pertaining to this topic or anything we've discussed here on this channel, feel free to leave it in the comment section. First of all, we're going to talk about dealing with breakup. Everybody already knows what breakup is, but for those who do not know it, breakup is a form of split between two people who were once committed or who had a thing, but now they do not have a thing anymore because they no longer feel compatible or because of some other reasons. But this is just simple terms or simple ways to describe or define a breakup. Now dealing with breakup, from my own personal experiences, breakups are not actually the best, especially when you were actually committed in the relationship and you had expectations for a relationship, but then your expectations were not met, which led to a breakup. Breakups could be so tough, so hard, and it's not a time for you to go around or get into using intoxicants or things to relieve you of the pain after a breakup. I have been there, and it's not profitable at all. It will leave you with more harm than good. Briefly about breakup with my own personal experience, I don't want to dwell on it and I don't want to just give out details like that, so I'm just going to touch here and there just for you to catch a glimpse of what I'm about to say before we move to the regrets I have and how we should properly deal with breakups. So I had this relationship that I had so much expectations for, and it didn't work out. So it didn't work out for the right reasons. It's not necessarily that the person is a terrible person or a bad person, but whatever reason we have for breakup is because we're adults and we know what is good for us and what is not good for us. So after this breakup, of course I had expectations, of course I was committed fully into the relationship. So because it didn't work out, I had a breakdown. I'm not going to lie, I cried several times and I felt bad, but rejecting yourself after a breakup or isolating people would not help you. Coming from personal experience, breakups would really take you back to feeling like you're worth nothing. It would in a way drain your self-esteem. If you've been through a breakup, you should know what I'm talking about right now. They really do leave you feeling like you're not good enough. Why did this person have to do this to me? Why did they have to treat me this way? Why didn't this work out? Was it because I was not good enough? Was it because I don't have what it takes to maintain a committed relationship or something like that? But hey honey, I want to let you know that it is not your fault that it did not work out. Sometimes God tries to take us away from things that are going to be harmful to us in future, especially when we are love struck, something like that. The word, like when we are all over the love, when you're beclouded, you barely can see reasons or people's point of view. So God knows his way of doing things and he would definitely not put us in harmful places. That is it for the breakup and the relationship that I had. Now the regrets that I have about relationships, breakups. The first one is that I actually regret going into relationships in my early 20s. Not because it's a bad thing to do. Personal experiences, I'm not talking about somebody else, I'm speaking from my own point of view. Personal experiences in the sense that my early 20s, I was a lot naive. I dated for the wrong reasons. I went into relationships for the wrong reasons, particularly because I wanted to be seen, accepted, and I just needed that form of validation. Okay, I'm in a relationship, that makes me stand out or that makes me acceptable. I had a lot of terrible reasons for going into relationships and they ended up breaking me, and that is one of my regrets. The second one is I actually gave more than was expected of me. When you're going into relationships, I do not advise that you give husband benefits to boyfriends. I don't know what you think, but this is my own personal view, like I said before. So I gave more than was expected, what was needed, and I think along the line, because I did it for the wrong person or the wrong people, I was actually taken advantage of just briefly. I'm not condemning anybody, and I'm not here to dwell on my exes or make them look bad or whatever. They're people's children, and that did not work out to the both of us does not mean that they're terrible. Whatever thing the experiences were, and if they are watching this video, I want you to know that you're forgiven. Move on with your life and stay away from me. Do it's as simple as that. So another regret would be not having boundaries. When I actually got into relationships in my early 20s, I didn't have boundaries, and as a growing adult, I think boundaries are one of the first things you need to have after confidence. You need to have boundaries. Boundaries are, okay, it's like a fence or a gate to your house. It determines who you let into the house, who you just talk to from the fence, and how much you let people in. So boundaries, there are healthy boundaries in relationships. Ones that you set for yourself, I can't set them for you. So I actually regret going into relationships in my early 20s, but I think I had those experiences for the best reasons known to God, and they have helped to shape me to the woman I am today and I am becoming. Moving very fast to what we should do after a breakup. Now this is where the whole emphasis on dealing with breakup comes in. So what you should do after a breakup, the first thing you should do after a breakup is to sit back, cry. My love, cry it out if you must, because holding in those emotions could actually break you down more than you expect. You're strong, but you still have a touch of weakness in you, and that you're weak or vulnerable in that part of you does not mean that you're totally or completely weak. No, that is because you're a human being and you have blood and you have emotions running through your veins, and of course it has to hurt. That is if you were committed, and it depends on the level of commitment you gave. So if you feel the need to cry after a breakup, please do that. Do not isolate yourself from people, family, your loved ones. I know at this particular time you're going to feel so terrible. You're going to feel, I can't trust anybody again. I just need to go through this. Sometimes we're just too embarrassed to even talk about it. Yes, because you don't want someone else to see you as you failed in this relationship. So that means you're not worth committing to, or you don't have what it takes to maintain a commitment with someone. Or just choose your pals, choose your very close pals. You shouldn't go about talking to everybody about it except you want to. Choose your very close pals, those who are going to hold you accountable, hold you down, and make sure that you do not do anything to endanger yourself or your life during this period. Then we'll come to praying. We're going to have to pray after a breakup. You're really going to have to pray, because just like I said, breakups have a way of diminishing your self-worth. They have a way of making you feel like you have no value at all. It reduces your self-esteem. So this is a time for you to redirect your focus to the word of God, inception, where your value and worth actually lies, knowing that you are whole, you are worthy, and you have been chosen just the way that you are. And because it didn't work out with whoever you had your thoughts of it working out with, does not mean that you're not worthy. It only means that God has better plans for you, and He doesn't want you to do things that would eventually cost you something more than you actually would lose now in future. I don't know if you get my point, and I just hope I did not destroy everything with the way I said it. But another thing you should do after breakup is heal. How do you heal? After breakups have a way of changing your mentality. They have a way of making you have distorted thoughts and opinions about things. Basically, yes, they do that. They make you think that everybody's your ex, everybody's going to hurt you, or everybody's out there to hurt you. So after a breakup, you just need to sit back. It's not a time for you to jump into another relationship. If you jump into another relationship after a breakup, that means you're trying to use the other person to get rid of your present pain that you're feeling. So I would advise that you take out time to heal. It could take 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It depends on how much you dwell on it, but do not dwell on it for so long. You just have to take out time. Actually, how you start letting boundaries and expectations for your next relationship is to actually sit down, just like I'm doing right now, pick up a book and a pen and write out everything that your ex wasn't to you, what you actually wanted them to be. Okay, you should also know that you can't change anybody, and because they are exes, there is a reason they are exes. If you still keep in touch with your exes, I don't know what you want to do, and I don't know how that is going to aid with your healing process, but do what works for you best. If I'm to advise, I would say cut them off, like let there be a moment of healing, and during that healing moment they should just give you some space. They should respect the fact that you deserve and you need this particular moment alone. Okay, so everybody has to heal on their own. If they are healing and you're healing, everybody has to do that individually. Like I was saying, you pick a pen and a book and you start to write everything that your ex was not. Write everything that your ex was. Okay, if he was an abusive partner, put that down. If he always lied to you, put that down. If he neglected your feelings, if he wasn't emotionally intelligent and all the good things that you would have wanted, but he was not that, put it down. Then from there, that is how you know what your heart actually wants and craves for in a man and in a relationship. Like I would always say, when you start to build yourself up, when you start to grow mentally, your taste in men and things generally begin to change and improve depending on how you work on yourself. So breakups does not mean you're not a good person. It doesn't make you a terrible person. It just depends on the reason you broke up at first and then why you need to heal. Because if there is no reason for you to heal, or you do not see the need to heal, then everything I've said here would just be a waste. But if you think there is a reason for you to heal, because in that moment you just tend to find out things about yourself, things that you should know about yourself that you did not know. If you must have a breakup, I advise that you still take out time to heal. Don't be in a hurry to go into another relationship. Make sure that you have healed yourself. Sometimes when you even go into a relationship after a breakup, you find out that you thinking you were ready to go into another one was just a big joke, because my dear, you have not healed nothing. You find out that you feel trapped. You still feel like everybody's going to hurt me. Let me be careful. You build up walls that are not even supposed to be there because you're just skeptical. You're just having so much anxiety about relationships, commitments and everything. But when you take out time to heal, you continually pray that God would bring good people into your life, people who have genuine reasons for being in your life. And I'm not saying that after you break up, maybe the next person you date should marry you or walk you to the altar. I'm not saying that. We all have different reasons for dating, and we should also know where we start and stop in a relationship, so we don't go about mixing things and then doing more than we're supposed to do, and in the end we get hurt, we get broken, we get torn apart because our expectations were not met. Once in a while, I will also advise that you pray for your exes, depending. This is not compulsory, but to me is a form of breaking soul ties, and it's also a form of freeing yourself, because when you let them go, you also attain a level of freedom in your heart. Like now you have clear consciences about them. You don't hold whatever thing they did to you so dearly, although memories and whatever cannot be taken away from the head. Of course, it has happened, but then you no longer dwell on them. You just reflect on it positively and you use them to make changes moving forward. So if you have to pray for them, please do pray for them, because they are actually human beings, and sometimes they do these things because they are broken. It doesn't mean that when you've let them go emotionally, like mentally and everything, or you pray for them, you should go back calling them, or you should go back trying to like have an understanding. Let's have this last word, let's have this closure. Exactly, that's the word. Let's have closure. It doesn't mean that you have to have closure after you've forgiven them or you've prayed for them. Just forgive them, let them go for your own good. It's actually for your own benefit and not for them. So be careful what you do. Once you have a breakup, there are a lot of things that will be going through your mind, and at some point, even while you're still healing, you just feel, God, I want to have a relationship. But when you now see someone who is actually invested in you, you just run away because you're still scared and you haven't properly healed. But I would advise that after a relationship breakup, and after your healing process, you just have an open mind. It's not going to be so easy as per the way I'm rambling and talking about it. It's not going to be so easy, and I can't just sit here and make you feel like at this point right now I have completely left everything. I am still a work in progress, always trying to work on my mental health, trying to make myself a better person, which is why we also talk about the self-development. But you should know what you want and what you cannot accept. You should have boundaries moving forward. You should have an open mind. You should do things because I am going to learn from this, and not because this person is going to marry me. Okay, so date for the right reasons. Do not date because you want someone to take care of you financially. Do not date because you want someone to fill up the space that your dad or your mom did not fill up from childhood. You know, childhood traumas could also be the reason why we do some of the things that we do and make some of the decisions that we make. So just make sure that you heal as an adult. Seek professional help if you need one, and be good. I love you so much. I really do love you. Breakups do not mean you're a terrible person. It just means it was not supposed to be. You just accept it in good faith and you move forward. Okay? Now, I know I have said everything I'm supposed to say. I know that I also did not touch some points, maybe because I didn't remember them or it skipped my mind, or I did not think it was something we could talk about. Believe me, everything I said here is just for self-development. Some are part of the reasons I have personally and experiences I have personally, and it's just for us to grow together. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, click on the subscribe button, leave a comment in the comment section so that we can all interact, learn. Tell me about your breakup experiences, how you put up with breakup, and how you were able to survive after a breakup, the things that you did, helpful tips that could also help me and some of the good brothers and good sisters here, especially the sisters. So that will be all for this video, guys. See you in my next one. I love you. Bye.